In 2022, casinos hit record revenue, record gross profit, and with inflation being really high, you don't get as much for your money. So let's really look into the financial impact of gambling in the United States. Let's take it back a bit to 2000 BC, where the first games of chance were played. Okay, maybe not that far back. Let's go back to 2013, when New Jersey became the first state to permit an online casino in the United States. I do think a lot of the record revenue and profits from casinos in 2022 are to do with online sports gambling and just online gambling altogether. Obviously, people love going to casinos for entertainment, don't always expect to win money, but if you do a quick Google search of what percent of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, you'll see it seems to be well over half of Americans, into 60, some even saying up to 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So why are people that are already struggling to get by wasting money at a casino? Well, it could very well be that slot machines and a lot of the other games are actually programmed to play on the human dopamine system, which will make you feel really good if you win, and not so bad if you lose because you have a good feeling that you can win again. This is very evident in slots, and whenever you're playing with people watching you, maybe in roulette or other table games, hitting just feels so good, so you continue to just keep going without really the thought of how much money you lost and the impacts that could have on your life. Well, let's take a look at some of the statistics. And so here's a table of the odds that are included games at most casinos and some online casinos. And this table is from AmericanGamingAssociation.org. I looked up some other sources, and these seem to be close enough, with the advantage changing from casino to casino and also from game to game. So it's a general overview of every $100 that you spend, you can expect to lose money from all of the following games: baccarat, blackjack, craps, sports betting, keno, reels, roulette, video poker. The only game that you aren't playing against the house, which is poker, you play against other players. You can win money depending on your skill, luck, and only a small percentage of poker players win money, so you do have to be fairly good at the game to win. And also, as a caveat for poker, if you want to memorize tables, you can, but it's very complicated, and some people who are great at memorizing will have a slight edge over the average person playing. So I gathered some data from CBS Sports, essentially outlining what states it's legal to online sports bet and what states it is not legal, and the legislation behind when it was passed and why it was passed, and put it into an Excel spreadsheet where we decided whether it is illegal or legal, and the amount of states that have it proposed or where it's complicated, like in Florida. There's a couple other states such as South Dakota where it's passed but not 100% for online. And also, a small detail is in Hawaii and Utah, there's no gambling whatsoever, and it's written in state legislation that you're not allowed to gamble. Excluding those two, which are included in the amount of illegal states, a lot of these details come in 2020, 2021, 2022, since sports gambling is rather a new bill that passed, and online is very new. So this likely explains why there's so many record profits and revenue coming from online sports gambling and just casinos in general. And let's take a look over here. So the amount of states where it's legal and the population of those states, and also the ones that are launching soon, take you to right about 60% of the population. The population of states where it's illegal, it's about 30%, but ones where it's about to pass, almost add another 10%, so looking at almost 70%. I think this is taking data from 2021, 2022 of 330 million, could be a little more. So over the age of 21, I've researched about 196 million. So if you take the total revenue of the casinos, 60 billion, assuming that's just from them winning money from those who gamble, which isn't always the case. Some make investments and make money other ways, but for the most part, that's how they make their money. And you can see for all the people that are over 21, the average amount lost is $304 a year, given maybe half of these people don't even gamble. And I'd say it's likely that only 50 to 60 million individuals in the United States either go to a casino and gamble or use an online betting platform to gamble. And is a crucial detail when looking at the overview of Americans and their gambling habits, as there are so many other bad habits that people take up, and the only advice would be to never get into it and realize that gambling is an extremely bad habit that will throw money away. Having that money to spend on vacations and other entertainment would be way more worth it. So just remember to be smart. Don't go into casinos. I see a lot of videos on TikTok and YouTube, mainly TikTok, of people at a casino having fun. I get that, but especially young kids need to know how bad it really is. And so that's just casino games. And if we look at scratch-offs, if we go to the Pennsylvania Lottery, essentially how they describe the winning is 20 red marbles, 80 white marbles in a bag of 100 marbles, and your chance of winning is 1 in 5. So they don't tell you how much you lose per dollar you spend, only that there's normally about a 1 in 5 chance to win, but you could always win less than you paid for the ticket. So scratch-offs, not great, as well as the big lottery games, Powerball, Mega Millions. You lose way more than you spend unless you're a 1 in 100 million. To tie everything together and put that into perspective, 60 billion is over double the GDP of the whole state of Vermont in 2022. And to show the 60 billion, if it was invested at a modest 7%, after 10 years would be over $118 billion that the American public will lose out on, have less money to spend on other forms of entertainment. And this is devastating for small businesses, as all the money that people could be spending in other avenues are going straight towards huge casinos that don't really generate any value other than taking people's money and in some cases ruining people's lives.